Once you have received our purchase order, the next step in the purchasing process is to create a vendor invoice. So let's do that now. The first thing we do is select our vendor, so we can type in the first couple letters of the vendor's name in search form here. Okay, and then the next thing to do is to enter a vendor invoice number here. And then down below here, we could go through and add each item individually that we want to invoice, but the simpler thing to do is add multiple items at once. So we're going to click on this auto invoice button here. And on the left-hand side of the screen here, these are all the POs for this vendor that have been received but not yet invoiced. And we're going to take a look at this last one here. So these are the 3 items on this PO that have been received. And I could check the box next to each one to add them to my invoice. Or at the top of the screen here, I could just hit mark all and select all 3 items at once. And then when I click the invoice button here, okay, so all 3 items are added to my invoice. At this point, if there was these costs here come from the receipt, but if when I receive the invoice from the vendor, if I received an updated cost, then I could just click here and type in the new cost, and let's do that here, 36. Okay, so it's at this point when I'm entering the vendor invoice that I can enter a change in my costs here when I'm paying the vendor. And if all my items here look correct and the invoice total amount is correct, I could also add like a miscellaneous or freight charge if needed. But if everything is in line, I would just click the post button here. And then now I get a warning that I have my unit cost on my invoice has changed from the shipment. And as long as that's correct, I can just hit yes. Okay, and that posts my transaction. And when I close my window here, I'm going to get a series of posting reports. So the first posting report just shows me all the items that are on this purchase order, as well as the quantities and costs. This next report here is the distribution detail. It shows me the distributions for this general ledger distributions for this transaction. In this case, because I changed the cost, that has an effect on our inventory, and then because of changes to accounts payable and accrued purchases here. And because we changed that cost, we get an entry here on our cost variance journal report. So you can see here, my shipment cost was $35, but on the invoice, my new unit cost is $36. So that results in a purchase variance of $8 since I have a quantity of 8 for this item. So now we have created a new vendor invoice for a purchase order that had already been previously received.